Little bit of a new section this week. So we've got the Ashes coming up this year, England v Australia, which we can't wait, but we need a little bit of an insight onto the English players that are in the NRL. So Sniper, you're going to be taking on this role for us. And first look, we're going to look at Lewis Dodd. How's he started getting on in pre-season?
He had a really difficult game for the Rabbitohs against Manly at the weekend. Let's take a quick look at his stats. So he made 10 tackles. He had 0 try assists. He only made 19 meters. Oof. He had -1 post-contact meters, 0 line breaks, and 0 tackle busts. So I think he's going to struggle to get the halfback role at the Rabbitohs. And I can't see him lasting in the NRL. So I don't know if you guys have heard anything. Maybe he hasn't settled. Any ideas on what's been going on there?
No, I've no idea what's going on, but I'm not surprised. I mean, when they announced his move to the Rabbit, I was like, well, I don't really get that. I don't know if he's met his potential. He's got more growth to do, or whether he's hit his level. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not surprised by those stats.
I know the Rabbitohs have been giving him a lot of sort of PR on social media and stuff like on their YouTube channel. They've been doing a lot of like video work with him and stuff like that. So they're certainly giving him a big profile. Whether or not he hits the straps in Australia remains to be seen, I suppose. Yeah, so, I mean, he should be under Cody Walker's wing. It doesn't seem like he is. And then the next new gun halfback has been bought from Manly. I think his name is Jamie Humphreys. I'm not sure about his first name. His surname is definitely Humphreys. And there are very, very big raps on him. He looks like he could be the real deal. And I imagine that Wayne Bennett will be nurturing him ahead of Lewis Dodd. So it's a shame. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back in Super League early, for sure. Not on our radar, not in the Black Book. Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall with Lewis. Right, shall we move on to Canberra Raiders then? Matty Nicholson and Smithies then at Canberra. How have they been getting on in the pre-season games? Most Super League fans' favourite NRL club, I guess, because there's been so much English talent go there. Yeah, and they've got the best Nicholson, that's debatable, isn't it? What, the green... The green machine? Vomit green. No, the green machine. Vomit green. Looks great. Okay. Coming up on our NRL shirt reviews video, that will be actually. So, you watch out for that. Oh, dear. Okay. I think I'll skip that episode, but never mind. Matty Nicholson, he's got Elliot Whitehead's old spot in the right second row. He played against the Sharks the weekend just passed. He was pretty average, didn't really have a chance to score. If we have a look at his stats, he made 48 meters, he made 20 tackles, and he had 6 runs for 18 post-contact meters. So it was an average performance. But if you look at in the previous week, they played against the Panthers, and they played against the Panthers reserve. He was really good in that game. 75 meters, 32 post-contact, 32 tackles, 0 misses, 0 errors. So he looked really good in his first game. Now, he scored a lot in Super League. Do you think he's going to be able to score as many tries as that in the NRL?
It's a good question. I don't think so. I mean, when Nicholson did this move, he went to Warrington, didn't he? And it was just like, it wasn't really a standout player for me. He did really well at Warrington and all right. Performed well, but he never set the world alight, which leads me to believe that going to the NRL, I can't see him massively improving over the space, of this season. So no, I don't think he's going to score as many tries.
So you think he's more of a steady Eddie rather than, Yeah,
100%. And I did question whether he had the size, whether he had the size to compete. He's not a direct replacement for Elliot Whitehead. He's not in the same league. No. Elliot Whitehead of old. So, but yeah, that's my take.
I'm quite impressed with him. But, again, there was big raps on the next player we're going to speak about. Actually, let's just rewind a touch. Actually, we're going to speak about Morgan Smithies. Yeah. Because, again, I mean, he had a so-so season. The weird stat is that he's Canberra's most effective tackler. Yeah. So if you look at his stats for last season, they were really good for Canberra. But he did cause 9 line breaks and he made 11 errors. So if you're looking at it visually, in terms of the eye test, he's failed the eye test. Statistically, he's pretty much an average defender. So, yeah, Smithies, again, he hasn't scored a try. Lewis Dodd hasn't scored a try. And you want one of these English players to really smash it in the NRL and to become one of those elite players that's competing for, honours at his club and honours at the end of the season. And we haven't really seen that for a few years, which is a massive shame. So maybe it'll be worth talking about who that player could be at some point. An actual English player rather than the Aussie doing so well in the Super League, which is, singing the same song every year.
Yeah.
And then if we move on to Newcastle.
Kai Pearce-Paul is not settled from what I've heard in the Australian press. Is he potentially going out to market?
Yeah. Did you watch any of him playing for Newcastle last season?
Bits, highlights, mate, highlights, but not full matches.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the season, he was sort of predicted to be the best English player to have come to the NRL for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And every week, the media and the pundits were saying, keep an eye on him. He's really good aerially. He's going to score. And he was putting in 4 or 5 out of 10 performances. And I don't think it was his fault. So when you're watching them play, you could tell the cohesion wasn't there at all. The understanding with Ponga was non-existent. He was running decoy lines, game in, game out. And it just looked like O'Brien, who's the coach at Newcastle, has bought him, but didn't really know how to fit him into his plans. Again, it was a 4 or 5 out of 10 season, which is disappointing. So there was massive hype, hasn't lived up to it. Again, if I were him, I'd probably be on the plane back because the Knights didn't look great. I mean, at the weekend, they looked like one of the poorest teams. So I wouldn't want to be sitting there potentially not playing every week and just in the extended squad. So I'd cut my losses, come back. If a move hasn't worked out, why waste another year of your career just in Newcastle making up the numbers?
I've heard Blackpool Beach is better than Bondi anyway.
Is there another side, NRL side, that he could potentially slot into?
I don't think he's impressed enough. No. The issue now is the depth that you've got in most squads is so deep that unless you impress in your first season, it's really hard to move to another club. You're just not going to. Yeah, if you look at the depth at a club like the Sharks, they could field 2 first-grade teams every week. So could the Panthers. So could all the top clubs. So no, I don't think so.
No, I was just trying to work out how much is it him not being utilised correctly, and how much it's him not performing well enough. You know what I mean?
I think it's the former. He's not been utilised properly. They don't know how to use him properly. You can see the skills are there, but he just looks like a rabbit in the headlights, and he's not getting any ball, and he's coming across as ineffective when he wasn't ineffective when he was playing at Wigan. Anything but.
Okay, let's
so
switch
a
fire.
Watching brief on that.